What's up? A creative black man will be rejected by his own people. Now, when I think of a creative black man, this is the most powerful version of a black man because he's not a slave. He's the one setting the standards. He's the one that's creating the standards. He's the one that's creating in life. And that's what a man is supposed to do. That's what a black man is supposed to do. He's supposed to create. But you find that in our culture, we only accept self-destruction. We only accept the thugs, the hood guys, the rappers who only rap about, reinforcing the self-destruction in many different aspects of life. And we accept that, but we won't accept the man who's trying to really step into who he is as a man and do something bigger than himself and be creative, right? A lot of times we don't accept that in our culture, and the kids don't look up to the black man that's being creative mentally. We look up to the black man who's impoverished in his mentality. That's who they look up to: the thug, the killer, the man who's super promiscuous, creating dysfunctional families, right? And a lot of us go for that because um that's what the girls like too. And I think that's a big thing too, that as I got older, I start to see like, okay, that's what the girls going towards a lot of the times. But as a man, you can't chase what the girls want. The girl's supposed to chase what you're doing, what you want. You're supposed to be the one that's setting the standard for the culture, not the girls. And that's no disrespect to the girls, but that's the truth. And that's why I think we see a rise in more men who get just straight up, played by a girl and things like that. And I think as I get older, I had to understand that because I've been in those positions as well. And I start to really see that the black men have to stop caring about what's culturally accepted and step into his creative power, because remember, being creative is actually using your mind, setting the standard. And we've been put in a place where we were the laborer. We've been put in a place where where we were the slave. The white man was put in a place where he was meant to create, set the things up, set the standard, design everything. We have to step into that in our careers, in our lifestyle, in our way of life. We're going to be the people that's going to create the standard, and we're going to create that for our own people and have sovereignty. And that's something that's truly powerful. But in today's day and age, we don't go for that. The girls won't go. A lot of times, a lot of the girls won't go for that. And a lot of the times, our culture, our people in general, just won't accept the man who may be creative. And I'm not just talking about being super artistic, but it's a lot of the times it's a man can bring something to your community that you've never seen before. And that's why you're not going to accept him. You're only going to accept what the stereotypical black man. You're only going to accept him because that's what you're used to seeing. That's what we think is cool. Remember now, a lot of the times what we think is cool, that's what we're going to accept. But that's the problem. The things we think are cool are the self-destructive, impoverished mentality type of people and black men in our community, and we accept those men a lot more. The women a lot of times will be more receptive to those men. And one thing I just had to understand is that it's not even about what the girl like. A lot of times, if we have a movement and we have a group of men who say, you know what, I'm about to stand up for this because I want this to change and it's going to change us for the better, then you're going to see, you're going to see everything start to change. And that's why you should lead with yourself, not be led by trying to please somebody to look cool, to be accepted, for a girl to like you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not no guy that that I've been in positions where I've chased a girl and I just try to do things because I wanted a girl and I wanted a girlfriend. I wanted to be accepted like that, But as you get older, you have to lead with yourself. You have to lead with what you want to do and what you want to see a change in, right? And I think that's really stepping into being, philosophical. That's stepping into being a man that's the creator, and he's not the laborer. He's not the slave, right? And that's the mentality that we have to get out of, because nowadays, we may not be physically slaves anymore, but we're slave in mentality. And what people don't understand is it's beyond what the eye can see. And it's not just something that touches black men. I think it touches black men heavily, but it also touches black women, black people, the black community. And That's why I personally believe we have to become more close knit, and the men in our community have to step up and be the creators, be the ones who set the standards for our people. We need to be the teachers, the people who are raising the kids, not some white lady, not, you get what I'm saying, these white people and all this type of stuff. And obviously I know it may be some individuals who are white who aren't like that, who aren't racist, you know, and they don't have a racist ideology. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is true, and it makes sense purely because we need that sovereignty. And the black men who watching this, who want to be creative, right? And be unwavering in it. Don't stop, because I think that they set the enemy set it up for us to think that the impoverished things were the cool things. The impoverished mentality was the cool mentality, and that's heavily influencing our culture. That's what's reinforcing self-destruction. That's why we can't see black men really rise to where they need to be. That's why we don't see black women rise to where they need to be. And that's also another reason why the black man and the black woman a lot of times won't be together, and they won't have true unity. I'm not just talking about sex, right? Because a lot of times, promiscuity will run in the black community heavily, but you will never see like a good family structure for that child. A lot of the times nowadays it's normalized to be dysfunctional, right? And this all comes from a man not being the creator, the black man not being the creator, the black man, um that comes from a black man being a slave, basically. And he's a slave not only to the system and his environment, but he's a slave to his desires, his carnal desires, not his true higher thinking mind, which puts him in that creator mentality. And that's the thing that we really have to understand, man. uh get away get away from being a slave mentally. Get away from trying to impress people, and and doing things for other people purely to be accepted. Don't do that, because that is why I've seen a lot of black men who were smart and very intelligent, but once they get to a certain age, they go and try to be this thug. They try to put on this thuggish persona, because that's all a part of them being accepted. They want to be accepted rather than being in their creative mentality in a place where they really have control. Um, and I think that that's the problem, man. And a lot of times we don't understand how much wanting to be accepted will change us for the worse, and take a black man from being a creator and promising and having potential to being, a slave mentally, impoverished mentally, and he's only doing it to be accepted by other men and for other girls to like him. And that's heavily in the black community. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.